Hey, good day. It's Dan here. I'm coming to you today. I'm hiding out in the home office here in our basement. Today is probably one of the hottest days of the year so far. It's supposed to hit 31 degrees Celsius today, so I'm hiding out in the office where it's nice and cool. My kids are running back and forth between outside, jumping through the sprinkler, and then back inside to cool off a bit. But um, here enjoying my iced coffee. Here's a little tip for you. If you enjoy coffee like I do, on a hot day you like a cold coffee. Next time you make a pot of coffee and there's a little bit left over, don't pour it down the sink. Get an empty ice cube tray, pour it in there, put that in your freezer, and freeze that coffee. And then when you want an iced coffee, you brew a little bit of coffee, mix it with some sweetened condensed milk if you like that. Good Vietnamese iced coffee is awesome, one of my favorites. Uh, Use the coffee ice cubes. Then, when your ice cubes melt, you don't get diluted coffee, you actually just get coffee. It's pretty good. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about a book I just discovered. I don't have a physical copy to show you, or I would, but the title of the book is Wake Up and Live, and it's the author is Dorothea Brande, Brande, and it's a book from 1936. Coincidentally, I believe it's the same year that Think and Grow Rich was published. Also, Power of the Subconscious Mind, I believe, came out that same year. I was on a webinar the other night, and some mentors of mine mentioned those three books as must reads, as top of the top of their reading list. And I had never heard of Wake Up and Live. So naturally, I went online and I found a copy. It's out of copyright, so you can find copies online. You'll get a PDF copy, or you can go to Amazon and order it. I'm sure you can find a copy in reprint. But it's a pretty fascinating book. And between it and an image I shared on my Facebook, I'll put a copy of that on my blog post here. I'll have a link below this video or somewhere around it, or perhaps you're reading my blog post and it'll be right there for you. But I want to read you a quote from another mentor of mine, Buckminster Fuller. I don't know what year he said these words. He passed away in 83, 1983. So obviously this quote is, 30 years old plus. But it really got the gears turning when I saw it the other day. And so I shared it on Facebook and got some interesting comments and feedback from it. And between it and what I was reading today, and I'll read you a little snippet, I think it'll maybe shift some gears for you. So I want to share it with you. Just hold on while I read this to you. One sec. So Richard Buckminster Fuller said, "We must do away with the absolutely specious notion that everybody has to earn a living. It is a fact today that 1 in 10,000 of us can make a technological breakthrough capable of supporting all the rest. The youth of today are absolutely right in recognizing this nonsense of earning a living. We keep inventing jobs because of this false idea that everybody has to be employed at some kind of drudgery, because according to Malthusian Darwinian theory, he must justify his right to exist. So we have inspectors of inspectors and people making instruments for inspectors to inspect inspectors. The true business of people should be to go back to school and think about whatever it was they were thinking about before somebody came along and told them they had to earn a living." So that's pretty interesting. It's a little controversial, I'm sure, challenging a bit of the norm on the way the world is, really. And, it's something I've, not to that degree, but it's something certainly I've been bucking the trend a little bit here, working from home, broke free from the 9 to 5 grind so that I could work on my own dreams and stop building other people's dreams. And even that is a departure from the norm. But this concept is miles beyond. And Bucky Fuller is well known for being an out of the box thinker and having some great concepts that really push the boundaries of what we believe is possible or reasonable, all those pieces. So the next piece I want to read you, I'm going to read you a little bit out of this book, Wake Up and Live. And I think it's going to challenge you a little bit, and I'd love to get your feedback on it, but it's important that I share this. So 1 second, let me find the passage. Here we go. This is from, I believe, the second chapter. It's right at the bottom of page 11 in the copy that I'm reading from. And she's talking about work and jobs and how people fall into that trap. And she says, this necessity to fall upon the first work we can find is alone enough to explain why so few of us ever manage to bring our plans to fruition. Often, at first, we have a firm intention of not losing sight of our real goal, in spite of the fact that we must make a living at uncongenial work. We plan to keep an eye on our ambitions and to work at them by hook or crook, evenings, weekends, on vacations. But the 9-to-5 work is tiring and exacting. It takes superhuman strength of character to go on working alone when the rest of the world is at play. And when we have never had any evidence that we should be successful if we continue. And so, without realizing it, we are swept into the current of the will to fail. We are still moving, and we do not see that our motion is downstream. Most of us disguise our failure in public. We disguise it most successfully from ourselves. It is not hard to ignore the fact that we are doing much less than we are able to do. Very little of what we had planned even modestly to accomplish before a certain age, and never, probably, all that we had hoped. One reason it is so easy to deceive ourselves is that somewhere along the way we seem silently to enter into a sort of gentleman's agreement with our friends and acquaintances. Don't mention my failure to me, we tacitly plead, sorry about that, and I will never let the hint that you are not doing quite all I should expect of you cross my lips. I'll just leave it at that. I think you get the point. And so what I want to leave you with here today is that, is what you're doing getting you where you want to go? Is this how you see spending the rest of your life? Because I'll tell you, I looked in the mirror 7 years ago, 8 years ago, and said, this isn't what I want to be doing for the rest of my life. I had worked at that time 12, 13 years as a draftsman, had worked my way up pretty much as far as I could go. In fact, I still remember one of my colleagues who was in worked for another organization, saying to me at one point, man, I don't know anybody that's done design, technical design, which is what I was doing, for as long as you have. And, looking around the industry, there weren't people that stuck with it as long as I did. They moved on to other things. And the truth was, I liked my work. I just couldn't see myself doing it for another 40 years or 30 years or whatever it was going to take till someday maybe I could retire. And so I started making changes. And my hope for you is that if you had those same thoughts going through your mind, if you're looking at your life today and you can't see yourself continuing on that path for another 40 years, then it's time to make a shift. And that doesn't mean quit your job tomorrow. Don't do that. I even with a year's planning, I quit my job without having a net, without building a base to land on. And that made things far more challenging than it needed to be. So I wouldn't recommend that. No regrets. I still do not wish to go back to that position. I have no desire to go back to the 9 to 5. I love working from home. I love being here while my kids are upstairs or going outside. We had lunch out on the patio here today, sitting in the sunshine, 31 degrees, getting a little vitamin D on my shiny head. I knew when it was time to come back in, but this book pretty much says it all. It says, wake up and live. And that's what I want for you. Are you truly living? Is this the way you want to live? And if not, then it's time to make some changes. And so if you want to make some changes, if If you want to find out what it is I'm doing and how I'm able to work from home, then click the link under this video and see what I'm up to. Or shoot me an email and ask me for some more info. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to help you make your dreams come true as well. My dream might not be your dream, but that doesn't mean I can't help you. So that's all I got for you today. I really found that those segments that I read to you, um, a bit of a dig and a kick in the butt for me to keep on my path and not to slip, and to know that I'm building my dream and to be excited about it. And I am. I'm more fired up than I've been in a long time, and I'm looking forward to how the rest of this year plays out. And I would love to put you on that journey as well and help you get there and help you achieve those dreams that you see and that maybe you've forgotten about. Maybe that you saw a long time ago and you somehow swept them under the rug and forgotten about them. It's time to revisit them. You only get one shot at this life, so you might as well make it a good one. That's all I got for you today. I look forward to speaking to you soon. I'd love to hear your comments. Let me know what you thought of this video, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye for now.